Yes, it is that time, LD. The AT&T fan connection where you guys get to holler at us and tell us all the things you love and hate. And Jordan also loves it because she gets tons of airtime. Jordan, welcome back to season 2. I can't believe they renewed your contract as well.
I fought against it, frankly, but they dragged me back in here.
No. You're just
Jordan. The first question goes to you: is Liverpool's title hopes done?
Ooh, great question.
Can you answer unemotionally?
Okay. The answer to that is no.
No, it's too tied up.
No, here's my actual thoughts on the. If you really want to know,
I do want to know.
I think a year ago, when we first started this podcast, maybe 4 or 5 episodes in, Landon Donovan said on this very podcast that it was over. Liverpool had locked it up. And I was like, no, we can't function like that. There's too many games still to be played. It's not actually mathematically locked up. I was trying to be reasonable about it.
Was Landon Donovan right or
Landon Donovan was right, yes.
Oh, interesting.
And I do think that there are too many games left. There's too much of the season left for something potentially catastrophic to happen to Arsenal. I don't want that. I don't wish bad things on people because that's not a good way to live your life.
Yeah, you
I'm just saying, like, there's too much stuff that could potentially happen. We saw what happened to Manchester City last season. Yeah. So do I think Liverpool's chances are high? No, I do not. I do not think that they're very good, but I do think there's just too much of the season. And a lot of, like, Arsenal's playing in the Champions League. There's just people are playing too many games. We're seeing what's happening to the U.S. men's national team players. They're all made out of glass, apparently.
That's different.
They're not analogous, but okay.
Well, how many players on Arsenal are playing for their national teams? Yeah. So I'm just saying people have to play a lot of football. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
True. All right.
Go on. Hey, I have a question for Tim Howard.
Yeah, talk to me.
Did you play in a penalty shootout?
I did.
Against Lady Vols?
We never talked about
the University of Tennessee Lady Vols soccer team.
How'd that go, Tim?
Well, because just for the record, again, Landon Donovan flip-flopped.
He came to my side again.
Yes, he did. I supported the ladies, and I would like to know which one of us was right.
I got my ass whooped. The crazy thing about it is, here's the crazy thing. I went into it, and I was like, whether I won or lost, I was certain I would do better than I did.
Really?
Yeah. I was just thinking, like,
you said 8.
I said I would save 4. I said I would save 4, like between miss and saves, I'd get 4 out of 10. And the craziest thing was, I went into it saying, like, if I can read the shooters properly,
right, you'll get there.
I'll get there.
Right.
I got beat for pace. Like, I went to the right side, not the correct side, 8 times. And I got beat for pay. The ball hit my hand and went in. And I was trying my absolute hardest, which is crazy. But hats off. They are amazing. That group of young women are just amazing. They're such a family. It was so much fun to be out there, and it was actually a good time because, like, there was all these people doing digital content, and a lot of the girls have dogs, so the dogs were on the field, and like families came out. We made a day of it, and it was really special. My daughter banged one on me. I was like, oh, I'll get this. It was crazy. So
what did they make? 8? Is that what I heard?
I think they made. Yeah, I saved 1. They missed 1, and they made 8.
Wow,
wild! But it was a ton of fun. So we got to run it back. I got to get you down there.
Their goalies.
Yeah, I got to get you down there. We got to get some people down, and we'll go to a football game. We'll make it a whole big thing.
Great.
Love it.
I think I can make 8 against them.
Okay, so far right. At the top of the segment, Landon has 1 and Jordan has 1. So we've got one right prediction apiece. There we go.
All right. Easy for you to say.
No, it wasn't. Right. I told you. I tried not to do this, but here we are again. Season 2. Let's get into some questions. Let's start with something that somebody asked this question a little while ago, but it has turned out to be a little bit of a hot button thing, considering all the things that we've been talking about in the episode today. So here we go. This question is from Jason via email. It's been good to see Chris Richards become a goal-scoring threat on every set piece. He and Weston are a two-headed monster that could possibly reverse a long decline in set piece threat for the USMNT. Do you think concussion risk awareness in U.S. sports contributed to that long decline? The U.S. Soccer Federation limits heading practice for youth players. How often do the pros practice set pieces or crosses, and how many head reps would an attacker or defender take on those days?
Wow, what a question. That's an interesting theory. I think at 13 now they can head the ball.
Yeah, 12 13, or 13.
14. Yeah. I don't think that's why. No. But what I hadn't thought about, who was this, Chris?
Jason.
What I hadn't thought about, Jason, was we have declined in being good at set pieces. Because, Tim, for a long time, we were really dominant. Like Jay DeMerick, Los, Gooch, our strikers, like our attacking players, McBride. That's a good point. We have sort of declined in that way. We used to dominate teams on set pieces. And I don't know. What do you think that is?
I don't know. Set pieces are very simple. You have to, Arsenal get all this credit, and I talked about this over the weekend. Arsenal get all this credit for being like the best set piece team in the Premier League and possibly in the world. You know what it comes down to? They have two people who have an amazing ability to deliver the perfect ball almost every time, right? So I know there's runs and there's blocks and there's all these theories. They literally, Declan Rice and Saka from the other side deliver an inch perfect ball every time. So it gives them a better opportunity. And by the way, you go after that, you go and attack it, and you want it more. So no, I don't think that's been a decline. I think it's.
You don't think we've declined?
I don't think the reason for that is
the lack of headers at youth.
Headers at
because the other part of his question was how often do you practice? I mean, you practice this stuff a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
You do practice it a lot. So, I don't. It was refreshing, especially during the Gold Cup, to see Chris Richards and Berhalter.
And ultimately, in terms of reps, like once you turn 13, you're hopefully learning how to head the ball properly, right? So by the time you get to the U.S. men's national team, you've had over a decade.
Well, the other thing they do, Tim, is you do head the ball before that. You just can't do it in a game. So they work on it like when you're young on how to. I do it with my kids in the backyard. I throw it really soft, and they head it with the right part of their head. Yeah.
Have you tried to head it with your new hair?
I knew that was coming. You're such an idiot. Shut up.
How does it feel?
Shut up, dude.
Come on. All right, next one.
Okay, speaking of Arsenal, this one is from Glenn via email. There's been much talk about set pieces from Arsenal this year. One commentator noted how Arsenal's most feared weapon is the set piece, much more than any single player. Does a threat like a set piece scare an opponent more than a world-class striker? Is it harder to game plan around set pieces versus a superstar like Haaland or Salah?
So my take on that is set pieces have become more and more difficult. And people have, teams have set piece coaches now, and there's way more time spent on it in analytics than there ever used to be. So my thought process, and if you're ever coached by David Moyes, he would tell you it's only one ball. So his point was like, they're scoring. He's like, well, we have more players in the box than they do, right? You always have more players in the box than the opponent as a defender, as a defending team. He's like, he would just tell us, go head the ball. What's the problem? Obviously, there's some nuances to that. I think the set pieces cause a major problem. Probably cause more risk than like a singular striker. But what I would say about Arsenal, and I truly believe this, teams are failing themselves, because here's what Arsenal do. They played Sunderland, right, this weekend. So they'll spend all week preparing based on what Sunderland do, how they set up. There's a man in the near post space, there's a man on the post, there's a man at the 6, they man mark, whatever they do, right? And then a lot of times, if you ever watch Arsenal, they're only picking out one player. It's Gabriel, right? And because the service is so perfect, everyone's blocking and picking and doing all these runs to get Gabriel free and then secondarily Saliba free, right? Where teams are failing is the week prior to playing Arsenal, you need to change your defensive setup, right? So you work all week on your defensive setup, and Arsenal have been studying everything you've done for the last 11 weeks. So when they get on the pitch and they put the ball down, they're going to go, oh, we're going to block that guy. Well, that guy's not there any longer. You set up differently. So you've got to counter their counter, and teams aren't doing that. So
that's really good. And I will say, just to Glenn's question, there is a very real impact when you, like, I think about Stoke back in the day. I think about when we had Beckham. Teams do think about, oh, shoot, we better not foul, or you better not kick it out for a throw in here, or it's getting lumped in your box by Delap. at Stoke, right? So there, when you're really good at set pieces, I bet you teams now are like, don't give away a corner to Arsenal. Don't give away a corner, right? And that there is a mental piece that does impact you for sure.
That's right.
Another question?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
How about something about MLS kind of?
Sure.
This one is from Dan via email. I am a longtime Sporting KC fan. I know, tough times at the moment.
Sorry to hear that, bud.
But I was slightly disappointed when they changed their name from KC Wizards to Sporting Kansas City.
Great kit.
Felt like it killed a bit of the American soccer culture once MLS teams began naming clubs after European team names such as Real, Sporting, Inter. It seemed like we were becoming something other than ourselves, and it killed American soccer culture once. What do you think about this?
Great question. So I am a Metro star at heart. So I appreciate this. And Landon, you played for the Earthquakes and all that good stuff. Here's what I would say. We try to reinvent things from a marketing standpoint to make things better, right? And so I don't fault the league for that. If you look at the Kansas City Wizards and that kind of culture they created and the uniforms, that's special, right? And I'll give you a parallel. If you look at the Philadelphia Eagles or you look at the Denver Broncos, right? Their retro uniforms sell better than their current uniforms because everybody wants to see it. They're like the Eagles should play in Kelly green. They shouldn't play in the dark green. The old Randall Cunningham jerseys are the best ones. When you look at Denver Broncos, the Orange Crush is who they are. That uniform. They're not navy blue. So I do think there's a miss there where it's almost like the old is new again. And so when we try to like reinvent this new soccer culture and go to some of these European team names, I think there are going to be an argument for certain clubs, Kansas City being one of them, where you're like, maybe the old was better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much to add. People are making decisions to try to market the club better, and they know way more than we do. I just will say with Kansas City, so we used to play in Arrowhead, and at first they were called the Wizards, and then they changed, I think briefly they changed it to the Wiz.
The Wiz, yeah.
And then they had this guy who would run around the stadium, and he would say, Zards, Zards, and try to get the crowd to chant. Sorry, I can't make this up, dude. And we'd be in warm up, and we'd be dying, dude. We almost couldn't warm up because
that's amazing.
Such a joke.
Soccer 1.0 in this country. MLS 1.0. Didn't you guys have I'm digressing. Didn't you guys have a drummer guy in San Jose? Wasn't there like an older gentleman?
There's all kinds of There's all kinds of stuff.
Bang this drum is crazy. Anyway,
it's the best.
Kansas City Wiz.
Zards.
Go Zards.
Go Zards. I want to get a T-shirt.
That needs to be an unfiltered soccer hashtag. Go Zards.
Do you think it would help the team if they became the Wizards again?
The Zards.
I think it's a very good franchise. I play against them a lot. I think they do.
No, I don't think it would help.
They do a lot of things.
I think they're doing well.
Yeah.
Okay. Reminder for everybody out there: if you would like to see your question answered here, send me an email at feedback@unfilteredsoccer.com
and demand that Jordan gets your question in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Don't demand.
Please.
I don't respond well to demands.
Say a demanding, please.
Yes. Please, in all caps. I will accept that. That's fine. All right. Thanks, guys.
Amazing. Thanks, Jordan.